So hello everyone. In this video, I am going to explain you about how my interview process was for the Deloitte NLA 2026. So first of all, if you are having a Deloitte NLA or any technical interview coming up, this video will give you a real insight about that. As usual, first of all, the interviewer started with the most common questions like self-introduction. They asked me to introduce yourself like that. I provided my name, what is my name, and I am currently pursuing bachelor's of engineering degree, and I am from which college I am. And after this, I came to the explaining my education, and then what skills I have gained throughout my years, I am good in Python, SQL, Java, C, and front-end languages such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and also like frameworks like Django, Python, Flask, and furthermore. Coming to the next, I also included my interest. I explained them that I am good in data cleaning and pre-processing, machine learning algorithms, and I am interested in artificial intelligence likewise, since my department is artificial intelligence and data science. And then I continued with explaining my projects. The projects which I have mentioned in my resume were a movie recommendation system and cardiovascular disease prediction, recipe video generation using generative AI. These three projects were mainly based on Python. So everything I mentioned in my resume were based on Python, SQL, and Flask, Django likewise, basic front-end languages such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So I explained about my projects. The next question the interviewer asked me was about while I was explaining about the project, he asked me to explain about my one of my projects, which is movie recommendation system. They asked me to explain it, and I explained them very well. This is common. They asked me this is very common project. Why it is? What is unique in your project? They asked me. Then, so I gave a very honest answer and honest and strong answer. I answered like, yes, sir. Many students do the project just to add it in their resume, but my intention was to learn everything from scratch in such a way that if someone points to any block of the any particular block of code, I should be able to explain it. Likewise, I explained them. This created a very positive mindset impact on them, like depth, ownership, and real learning mindset. So the next question they asked me was about which programming language would I prefer. I answered as Python with justification, because my interest in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analytics and data science, Python was the most suitable language for this ecosystem. So I answered them in such a way that it should belong to my existing skills. And then the next question they asked me was about OOPS concept. They asked me to explain OOPS concept. I replied with explaining all the four pillars of the OOPS concept, that are encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism, also with real life examples. So the next question they asked me was, uh, uh, have you worked with Excel sheets? So I was not bit confident about that. I had studied that in my third sem, so I was unable to recall the formulas. So I told them honestly that I am unable to recall that. And then they asked me about the difference between DBMS and RDBMS. This is most common questions which they will ask in SQL. So since I knew basic differences, I told some basic differences, like how the data is stored in the database. Like in DBMS, the data is stored in the form of files, and in RDBMS is stored in the form of tables. And likewise, normalization is not possible in DBMS, whereas in RDBMS it is possible. Also, since there is no relationship between the files in data RDBMS, they cannot be found having relationship using foreign keys. So in RDBMS, it is vice versa, where the files can have relationship using the primary key. These differences I explained them. And the next question they asked me was, they asked me a SQL query. It was very easy query, but since I had basic knowledge in SQL, I answered them. The question was, get employee details whose salary is greater than 5,000 and department number is 30. This is the basic query using which we can perform using and operation. Since I had basic knowledge, I have done that. The answer is like select star from employee from this table. What we have to fetch is every employee whose salary is greater than 5,000, and also who is in the department 30. So this was the correct answer which I gave that to them. The next question they asked me was the difference between the drop, delete, and truncate. This is also one of the common questions they will ask during the interview. The difference relies in the delete will remove specific rows in a table, whereas truncate removes all the rows faster. Means the structure of the table will be as it is, but only all the rows will be removed. And then the drop command. The drop is used to remove the entire table structure without leaving any structure as well as any particular records. And then the final questions were asked based on the HR type questions, like why should we hire you and what are your strengths and weakness. And at last they asked me, do you want to say anything, like if I had any questions. So I replied them with, no sir, I don't have any questions. So that's it for my interview experience. So the tip from me would be for you guys to, if you are preparing for Deloitte NLA, know your resume line by line. Be honest and justify your choices. Focus on concepts, not mugging up. Your project depth matters more than number of projects which you have done. If you found this video helpful, like, share, and subscribe. And in the next video, I will tell you how to prepare for each of these rounds step by step. Thank you.